Thank you, boys, and great to see Ron Barassi here. The umpires, Rowan Saws, is wearing number 5 tonight. He's about to get proceedings underway. Joining him are Hayden Kennedy and John Harvey. West Coast have won the toss, kicking to the right, and a warm welcome to the microphone too to Don Scott. Welcome, Don.
Yes, Andy, it's cold, not welcome. Very cold night.
But it should be a grand contest, this one. Whether you're following Sydney, whether you're following the West Coast, well, that'll give you an idea what the middle's like. Stafford's just signed a new contract, so he'll be delighted. Dyson tries to get first touch, does so towards Garlick, lost it to Evans. Evans tries to get the hand pass away. It's going to be successful. Wider towards Matera. Overruns it initially. So too did Stafford. It's going to be the pattern for the night. It's going to be a tough, hard, dur slog. And if Sydney are successful, they'll come out on top of the ladder. If the West Coast are successful, as young Ben Cousins, who's had a fantastic year,
and he's been picked up by Creswell, and Creswell, they're getting the free kick. You've got to keep yourself in front in conditions like this in a pressure game, and Creswell did just that.
He's one of the favourites for the Norwich Rising Star, young man Cousins. This is Chris Mainwaring. Kicking back towards a left half forward. Troy Luff picks it up for Sydney. Tumbles a puck quickly down towards centre half forward. Pushed clear once again and taken away by Evans. Goes in towards the centre. Wide towards Morrison. The youngsters have certainly lifted the West Coast Eagles in the latter half of this season. There's going to be pressure on the Sydney defence. Aruz is leading that, and he's led it so well throughout this season, especially since he passed his 300. He finds Maxfield on centre wing.
Maxfield breaks away, goes towards the boundary line, and in fact out on the full. And Don, just getting back to that toss, I thought that McKenna actually pointed first and actually kick into a fair breeze. If that was the case, I mean, he did point first.
Yep.
Maybe not have won it, but unusual move. Seymour to Evans. Evans goes to the vacant centre half forward. Wirapunda by himself. 40 metres out, wants to go square across the ground and finds his teammate there in Mitchell White.
Now, that's unusual because Sydney usually have numbers back in the back line. They really do bottle it up, but it was on that occasion. Players were running in front of the action. There's the kick, and he could have gone either left or right.
Yes, Russell, is that Russell Morris down there? Is that breeze going the way I think it is?
Yeah, Blighty, look, it's going left of the screen from the top of the stands, but when you get down to ground level, it's really swirly and it moves to the right, so it's very difficult.
So Mitchell White from 40 metres kicks and has pulled it to the left. So first score to the Eagles, point to Mitchell White.
You see the intensity in Mitchell White's face. They're pretty souped up, the West Coast. Sydney haven't gone, they've only gone forward once, but there's the West Coast bench.
Ryan Turnbull, Chris Lewis coming back again. Mitchell White has booted 32 goals for the season coming into this game as Shannon Grant. Another big chance for a Norwich Rising Star award. Chance for Sydney to clear once more. Dyson goes up towards left half forward. Pushing wide is Gehring, and a slap towards the boundary line. A throw-in, left half forward flank. Fraser Gehring hasn't missed a game this year. One of 4 West Coast Eagles to have played every week. And they really are just starting to flex their muscles at the right time of the season. Garlick is caught and slung to the ground. And Rowan Saws, the veteran umpire of some 41 years of age, comes in for a ball.
Oh, that is unusual. Let the ball bounce from a throw-up. Players not thinking on that occasion. Probably never see that again in AFL football. I've never seen it before.
Another throw-in, left half forward flank, and a cool night to say the least here in Sydney, but it doesn't matter. We're here for a game of football. Garlick gains probably 15 metres, pushes towards the 50-metre line, and another throw-in. National Sportsbook odds. You see West Coast favourites starting at 6-4 on. Sydney are 10-9 against, but not a lot in it. Garlick was tackled after Gehring won the tap out. Schofield was at the bottom. Heady is also down there as well for the West Coast. Garlick gets another hurried kick there inside 50. Wide towards Shannon Grant. Grant picks it up. Oh, smother! Sensational play by Peter Matera.
Also, there was excellent play by Dale Lewis. Dale Lewis earlier just getting that ball across to Grant, and there is Matera coming in. He's been playing down half back and back pocket recently.
Unbelievable play from Matera. Boundary throwing. Banfield can't quite get hold of it. Soccer's off the ground. We'll see plenty of this tonight. The ball is very slippery. Players working hard in underneath. Maxfield over the top, puts his hand in the air, but another ball up.
So Eddie, there's a courageous player. He's done his shoulder so many times you wouldn't. You know, he's just so courageous in the fact he goes back into Paxton. That's how he does it.
O'Loughlin caught with the footy, sockers it off the ground. Intelligent play. His main wearing, great defensive wingman that he is. Kicks the ball forward. Stafford marks it unopposed on his chest. Now squares the ball back inside centre half forward. Matera brilliant with the smother. A fantastic get. Coming in late was Mooney. O'Loughlin throws it onto the boot towards the boundary line and over.
And there's a West Coast Eagle player down. He's slowly getting up. Matera.
Yes, that desperate dive with a punch. He's just caught him on the hip, I'd suggest.
And that doesn't look good.
And they sting. Boundary throw-in, just around from the Swans' goal. Mooney taps it down, gets behind players. Mainwaring's there again. McIntosh caught, surely off the ground by Lewis, and then Maxwell, and it's a goal. First one to the Swans.
Well, I was just going to make the comment that Sydney really don't look impressive. The West Coast are the team that are impressive. Although they've scored this, I don't think they're as souped up as what they should be. And here it is, Lewis. And off the ground Maxfield, but it doesn't matter how you get them as long as you get them. He was out last week back after the ankle injury, Maxfield.
So Sydney getting away to the start they wanted, courtesy of Stuart Maxfield, and it's Kevin Dyson who charges them down the half forward once again. The mark not taken. McKenna defends and defends grandly, going in towards the centre. Finds Braden Lyle. Lyle converts defence into attack up towards half forward, but the mark is taken by Huskis.
And Matera is off too after that clash. He's been helped off the ground. It'll be interesting to see whether he comes back on.
Well, drama for the West Coast Eagles as Huskis' kick goes down towards O'Brien. He hasn't got Tony Lockett there in the forward line with him tonight. Dyson will try and flick it towards Luff. Doesn't quite have the distance. Luff will fly in there and try and flick it wide again. He does. Spooned out by Lovell. Oh, it is going to be tough. It's a throw-in on the outer side. Just about down to centre wing. Now, our first medical report for the night, Russell.
Yes, Andy. Peter Matera copped a big knee, I think around the hip area in the left leg, up in the buttocks, around the kidney, so not looking good. They've gone straight to the rooms.
Well, we'll keep an eye on him as it's soccer back towards Luff again, who in turn tries to soccer it even further afield. Eventually they wobble it up towards left half forward, giving chase is Wirrapunda, close to the boundary line and over. Another throw-in. One of a couple of changes for the West Coasters. David Wirrapunda, this is just his 5th game. Stafford with the right hand. He's an exciting player. Speaking of excitement, so too is his skipper. In towards the centre. Dyson's picked up early touches. Could have almost been free kick. Flicked out by Maxfield. Nicely done. Up towards the half-forward line. Shannon Grant attempted to soccer off the ground. Couldn't do so. Strong body work. Here's O'Loughlin. A snap by O'Loughlin. Which way will it bounce? To the right. To the one behind.
So there's a free kick against Mooney on Gehrig, and Gehrig's still remonstrating and talking to the umpire. Why wasn't I given a free kick? I agree with him.
McIntosh goes short. And once again, just that goal. I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? This is Morrison. It's in fact Schofield. Schofield kicks the ball back towards centre wing. Playing in front, Cousins. Can't get hold of it. Luff just throws his boot at the ball to Evans. Tries to work his way through the players. And then kicks a very high ball, about 30 metres in advance of the kick. Lachlan almost can't get hold of it. Now we're up under. Great handball to Cousins. Cousins has an open square. Goes from 40 metres out and misses.
That young man there, probably rookie of the year. He's had a terrific season. And there he is, number 35. We all know his dad played at Geelong, Brian.
In fact, there's probably a couple out here. Shannon Grant's had a great year too. Yep. Cousins.
Oh, he's gone off a bit, Grant, I think. He's starting
Cousins
to come back.
Come good late, so I mean, it's interesting.
Well, it's great to see the youngsters coming to the fore. Chance now for City to clear. Dyson accepts the hand pass. He's been busy early. O'Loughlin tangling with McKenna. Decides to leave it now for Heady. Brett Heady's probably played 112 games in the forward line. Just 4 or 5 in defence, but he's getting used to it. Chapman in towards half forward. The mark not attempted was instead a chance to belt it clear. It may open the door for O'Brien here. Around his body, onto the left foot, floats it high. Lewis has got to beat a couple. He'll have to sucker off the ground. He's beaten to the ball, and it's pushed over from behind. 6-point margin.
Yeah, she'd expect it to be tight in these conditions. There's ground's in terrific nick, but there's a lot of water, surface water, and players just having trouble with their kicking and, of course, their handballing. McIntosh comes grandstand side, commentary side, pushes the ball out. Stafford's first back, slips over, goes to ground. Players walk in. Now it's Dyson. Gives it off to Chapman, hooks the ball back in front of square. Heady, great courage.
Wow.
Brett Heady wants some help. He's got it from Banfield, goes across goals. Now sets up McIntosh. Has a player out wide in Lyle. Dropping back. Maxfield, the kick doesn't hit it right, and Maxfield cuts it out. Off to Luff. Luff from 48 metres kicks and has kicked a goal.
Well, what I liked on that occasion was the fact that Luff really did keep his head over the ball. It was a deliberate shot. Here's the build-up. The 1-2. Here is the handball going to be shot out to Luff. There it is. Luff head over the ball. Look, terrific shot for goal. From a long way out. In these conditions, a real bonus.
Good start by Sydney as the chart goes up after they've scored their second goal. Defending grimly is Drew Banfield.
Chapman down too. He got a knock to the head.
Pushed towards the half-forward line where Apunda may leave it for his teammate there in Morrison. Close to the boundary line and eventually shoved into the fence.
Gee, there is Chapman. He really did run hard and well off the square. He really ran in hard there. It was terrific. Purely accidental. There was just nothing in that.
Well, we're going to have a hold-up in play here. That ball will not be thrown in. And there'll be some considerable time now taken as a stretcher is brought out. Most unfortunate for Wade Chapman.
And here it is once again. Now look, Mainwaring coming in. There's nothing Mainwaring can do on that situation.
It's interesting, Don, in these conditions, if you haven't played in these for a while and it is pretty slippery, the players just don't get the feel of their feet in the ground, do they? They actually do a bit of slipping.
Oh, this is very treacherous.
Yeah.
I mean, the wind's blowing. That ball is very slippery because of the coating it's got on it for a night game. So, you know, and the players, you say, this ground is treacherous because it's hard underneath and very slippery on top.
Been a long time between drinks, too, for the West Coast Eagles here at this ground. They were last here in round 11, 1993.
That's unusual seeing them do that. Usually they slide slats under the players so they don't have to move, but they had to move him on that occasion. Wade Chapman, let's hope he's all right.
I'm sure Russell Morris will keep us up to date, but most unfortunate for the young man. Sydney travelling very well early on in this game with two quick goals, one from Stuart Maxfield soccering off the ground and then Troy Luff.
Well, we've already got Matera off. He'll be a loss, and so is this young man. The way he attacked the ball there showed he was very, very souped up, the way he came off the front end of the square. Sydney very good at getting the ball out of the square. It's because a lot of them are prepared to run hard off the edge of the square.
Don, that Troy Luff goal, just going back to that, I mean, that ball carried nearly 60 metres, and it's certainly the wind is assisting Swans at the moment.
Well, the wind is blowing to the left of screen. You can see there the papers and so forth, but it was an excellent kick. He kept his head over the ball, really followed it through, and it was a real bonus because it was a long way out.
Big roar for Derek Kickett, who's come onto the ground as his replacement. And we're back with the action. There's the throw-in. Stafford trying to do the work from behind. Doesn't get a hand to it. Banfield gets a hurried kick in towards full forward. But only as far as Dunkley. Plays on quickly because he had Troy Luff out wide. Sits nicely for the goal kicker. Luff, ball to ground once. Chipping short towards O'Loughlin. Got a hand to it and almost was able to flick it on. Lyle tries to sucker off the ground. It ricochets away to the outer wing for another throw-in. So Chapman will receive plenty of attention in the next few minutes. We'll have a throw-in on the outer side. Sydney leading in this all-important game. We couldn't have asked for a greater finish.
He's going to be a problem. Sorry to cut you off, Sandy. Stafford is going to be a real problem.
Any news yet, Russell?
Yes, Sandy. A knee in the head. So, but the doctors are still checking. They're not too sure whether it's slight concussion or not, but he may be able to come back on, which is promising.
Garrick slaps it towards the line. Kelly, oh geez, inspirational. Gets it inside 50 now. Mainwaring. And there was shepherding there from McIntosh. Some pretty solid work to overrun. A chance for Mooney. Picks it up now. Tried to get the hand pass out. McKenna had it and lost it. Kick it. Welcome, Derek. But he misses. He misses. And one behind.
Actually, it's one of the unfair parts about our game. The Metropolis was first there, and the water stops it. So,
well, in conditions like this, the bloke that runs second can be rewarded, can't he?
Can indeed, Don. Can indeed. McIntosh goes long. Oh, it is a long kick too. Oh, fantastic punch back. Terrific discipline. Now breaking through is Waterman. Goes out wide. Luff and Lyle. Lyle just taps it over really. And the Eagles are happy to get that 120 metres from goal. And there's the youngster Wade Chapman, just waiting for him to recover, talking to the medicos there. So hopefully, as Russell said, he might be okay and come back later. Stafford, very good. That's terrific down to Garlick. Goes in towards half forward. Players come in it. Two Eagles collide. McIntosh runs into Banfield, I think it was. And he groggily gets up on it. It's in fact Metropolis. Yes, it's Daniel Metropolis, and just got him under the chin.
Throwing on the outer side. Garrick. Mooney going with a roundhouse right. He's given away the free kick. Interfering with Fraser Garrick and trying to do so. After a very disappointing start to the season by the West Coast, they've introduced some youngsters. They lost Glenn Jakovich. But they've certainly come home extremely strong. Look at that ball sitting up there now, didn't it? And Darren Creswell was sitting underneath it. Gives it away to Paul Roos. The old warhorse chips down towards Mooney. Roos playing his 311th game. It's been a fantastic achievement. And really, since playing his 300th, he has been in superb form. One wonders who'll take votes from who when it comes to the Brownlow. Kelly, Lockett and Roos. O'Brien in the meantime has the football. Gets it quickly away towards O'Loughlin. It's a high kick, but it's too wide. And it's out of bounds on the full.
Talking about Roos, he's playing at the centre half-back position. In recent weeks, he's had a guy go with him, a tag going with him. But tonight, he has got number 12, and that's Mitchell White, and probably the best centre half forward in the AFL at the moment. And so he's got to stay at home because that man's averaging over 20 possessions a game.
Oh, I think there's probably a dead heat in that one. There's a bloke at North Melbourne who can go a bit. Here he goes, in underneath. Paul Kelly. Free kick coming back to the Swans to Stafford. But the big fella started very well. Doesn't muck around, goes very long. Big fly from behind. Well, Garrick was good with the second attempt then with a smother away. Mainwaring, great recovery. Picks up and then Kelly gets after him. Great piece of play by the two champs.
Just inspiration, isn't it? Just fantastic to watch.
I was just thinking, I think they need 4 or 5. I think this wind is much, much stronger. Particularly when the ball gets a little bit above the stands. It really is going 15 or 20 metres. You see the boundary throwing and the ball's going offline. Pretty unusual wind. Garrick just toe pokes it forward. Here's Maxfield. Swings the ball back around. Centre half foot. Look at the wind carry that. Good luck, fella, standing underneath that. Mainwaring goes off the ground. Kicks the ball out wide. Here's Seymour. Tries to pick it up and then give it away. Kick it. Caught in the tackle. Fair enough. Goal play on. Kelly onto the left foot. Luff lurking. Oh, it goes out to O'Brien. He's got a bit of time. Can straighten from 30 metres and he's kicked their third.
Well, certainly picked up the slack, the Swans. They weren't impressive before they got their first goal. It was the West Coast. And it was interesting watching Luff here. He ran in a straight line. Watch this off the ground. This was going to be a real interesting clash. This kicker comes out, breaks through. The ball there on the ground. Now running straight is both Banfield and Luff left, getting his foot the ball. O'Brien finishing off.
Sydney get their third. They lead by 19 points with 9 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Stafford wins it again, but they don't win it out of the muddy centre. Dale Lewis is at the bottom. 109 games under his belt now. Stafford again, but it's McIntosh who flicks it out quickly towards the half-forward line. Cousins overruns it. Maxfield waiting for it to come out. Cousins goes in again, almost gets clear. McKenna's there, and another ball up will take place. Looks like Darren Creswell at the bottom, picking himself up. Stafford. Kick partly smothered, but Maxfield will give him assistance. Tries to get the hand pass away. McKenna could have almost been free kick. Dyson started well, gives the hand pass to Creswell. He tumbles a punt to half forward. Forward they go again. Ricochets back in towards the middle. Picked up by Kelly. He followed it down. Kelly's kick goes long, but it's wide. Garrick gives chase. Waterman is there also, and he sees it over the line. Peter Matera, after receiving treatment in the rooms, is back on the bench, but certainly doesn't look to be too comfortable at the moment.
No, boundary throw in. This is Mooney and Garrick. Garrick does well, gets front spot, belts it towards the boundary line. Creswell there. McKenna with him. No free kick and over the line. So interesting start. It is hard work going to the right of screen.
Sting gone out of the game. Conditions starting to take its toll on the players.
Yes, a certain slog. Mooney does well. Taps it back. Dyson's there. So's Mainwaring. Can't get it. Sock it off the ground and another boundary throw in.
In these conditions, Malcolm, which side would you expect to adapt the better?
Interesting. I've always felt that the Eagles actually play these conditions pretty well. However, with a group of youngsters like 7 or 8 of them, both sides have got, I mean, it's almost an unknown because they haven't played like this. We saw the game they played early in the season when the Eagles got on top, but that was dry. So soccer off the ground. It goes off Kickett's foot. Now, is that a goal? No. So another point to Sydney. And Guy McKenna with a footy. They move on to 3-4. 20 points in advance of the Eagles on 2 points.
Guy McKenna, best and fairest at the club back in 1989. Here's Kickett showing dry weather skills. Off to Mooney, gives it back again to Dyson. Dyson could chip into half forward. That looks okay. Creswell takes the mark. Oh, he's going short again. It's all right. Stafford takes the diving mark. He's directly in front and kicking from 45 out.
Well, the man that set up was the bench player, 24, Derek Kickett. Lightning handball, quick reflexes. There he is. He is an unbelievable player. Not the fittest man around, but certainly one of the quickest as far as reaction goes.
Ian Downsborough is off. He's been replaced by Ryan Turnbull.
It's a good move, that one.
An important kick for Sydney. Oh, Stafford has kicked another one, I think. He has. So they're getting him in ones at the moment, but they're looking all right on the scoreboard. 4-4 plays 2 behinds.
Yes, they really do have to have a go in this quarter because looking at those flags on the outer side, the wind is definitely favouring the side that Sydney, the area that Sydney's going. So they've got to chalk up a decent lead here and then hold on.
The ball's kicked forward, and Russell Morris just on the young fellow Wade Chapman. How is he at the moment?
Yes, Bo, not looking good. Slight concussion. He's in the rooms and also a sore left jaw, so not promising for them. It looked okay to start, but I just spoke to the head trainer, and I don't think they'll risk it, Mel.
Okay. Boundary throw in. Turnbull now on the ground as mentioned. Stafford. Oh, he works well. Got it at the front. Over tap down, and once again the ball out of bounds. So yes, in answer to that question, Sandy, it's interesting, isn't it? I always felt that in these sort of conditions, if you could get away to a bit of a start with the win, goals on the board were always hard to come back from in these sort of conditions. Kick forward, wide in front, and the ball eventually, here's Mainwaring. He does pretty well on boundary lines. Pushed off it, worried off it really by Dyson, so that was terrific stuff. Yes, and Brett Heady getting that early kick from half back. So very much a goal kicker. Hasn't kicked one goal in his fifth game this year, so that's unusual. Great hoik out of the air. One in front. Here's Lewis. Jives on the football. Goes out wide. Oh, that's surely a free kick. Surely a free kick to McPherson. Urupunda, very aggressive indeed.
5 free kicks have been given out so far tonight. 3 and 2. Grant drifts it in towards the centre. O'Brien is there. He's on the defensive side of centre, and he'll send Sydney into attack. Down towards half forward. Oh, the flyer was by Lewis, and he skis across the turf. It comes quickly towards Dunkley. What's he doing down there? Socket off the ground, or attempted by Mooney, and then Troy Luff. It's tough in there. Lovell's at the bottom. Out comes the football as they surge it rugby style towards the goal square. The umpire comes in and decides on a baller. Picking himself up is Ashley McIntosh. The Eagles looking at another finals campaign. Mickey Malthouse, 7 years there, and he's never had them lower than 6th. It's a fantastic achievement for a coach. Back towards... Grant takes a flyer. Riding over the top. This young man could be a Norwich Rising star. Don't worry about that. In towards half forward, inside 50, over the head of Brett Heady, pushed towards the boundary line. Schofield does the hassling, the pressuring work, and it's over.
Not a convincing effort by Dale Lewis, going with that one hand and then ducking the head.
Have a look.
Here's this mark.
Here's fantastic jump. In these sort of conditions, great to get the chest mark. Does well, Mooney. Kick it playing in front. Oh, look out, magic.
Watch this.
Anything could happen here. And goes back to Michael O'Loughlin. So the youngster will kick from 50.
He is an amazing player, Derek Kicker.
Oh, gets on with it too. Goes, drives. It's just going to be the right. Players converge on it, and over the top of the players, only a point. So great contest back there in the goal square. I believe he had the right idea then. 4-5 plays, 2 points. So the Eagles just struggling to get it past centre, really. Only had a couple of attacks and scored.
Heady goes to the outer side. Kick's going to be okay. Taken by Metropolis. He's on the half-back flank with under 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Metropolis's kick, all right. Turnbull. He came on off the bench replacing Downsborough. Gives it to Banfield, who flicks it up towards Sumich. Sumich is in front, couldn't take it cleanly. Pushed towards half forward, slapped away by Dunkley. Cleverly done towards the boundary line. A further soccer by Daniel McPherson. Sees it go even further back. A chance now, though, as the Eagles could push it back towards the 50. They've got it just outside. Now inside. Here comes Sumich from behind. He plays on Peter Sumich. Swings round onto the left foot. Kicks in towards goal. They're looking for their first, and they've got it. So Peter Sumich gets his 19th for the season, but more importantly, the first for the Eagles tonight.
It was an interesting match, he and Dunkley. Dunkley really trusting Sumich. If Sumich has got a problem, it is with his fitness. He's had a lot of natural ability as a youngster, but really never complemented his ability with working hard on the track. Now he's paying the price, but he's working harder and coming back into form.
He's back in the centre.
Oh, that should be a free kick.
From that bounce. Or throw up, I should say. There'll be another one.
I didn't think that was necessary by Kevin Dyson coming out over the top there.
That is a very handy goal, and Sumich looked very lively when the ball hit the ground, and that's a terrific sign for the Eagles. Lachlan, clever. Goes straight to centre half forward. Kick it. Pushes McIntosh off. Now comes round onto his right foot, the non-preferred side. It's Maxfield, a great pickup. Unfortunately, under pressure, gives it away. Waterman having trouble getting a handle on it. Players in underneath. They have let this look go a little bit, but not this time. So on the 50-metre line for the Swans. And that margin, 21 points.
Chad Morrison picks himself up. Here's Darren Creswell. How's it going to bounce? It's okay. It's another one to Sydney.
Well, they've got 5 different goal kickers. They're really posting it now, and they've got to, because that breeze certainly favouring the end at which they're kicking. Mooney getting it out, and there's Creswell. Snapshot over left shoulder, and the ball running. Be interesting to see what West Coast do in the second quarter when they've got the breeze.
Sydney chant goes up again as Creswell gets his first. and they stretch the lead. 35 plays 8, answering the quick West Coast goal in the middle and going nowhere. So another bounce.
Stafford's a real problem. Downsborough off. Turnbull coming on to have a go at him.
There is Stafford, as we've said, just signed a new contract with the club. Wins a roundhouse right, but it goes straight to Morrison, who tumbles a puck down towards the 50. Mainwaring just about clean bowled, opens the door for Dyson. He's going to be pressured by Wirrapunda towards the boundary line. Mitchell White also there. Kevin Dyson on all fours, and a throw in on the outer side.
There's the youngster playing his 5th game, and there's the young Swans supporter. Fantastic to see. Not a bad crowd either for the weather that's been here, mentioned many times. It's been great. Here we go. The boys are away as Wirrapunda gets it out. Quick hand. Comes off to Cousins. Ball over players' heads, and the Swans fall back. And Seymour takes an easy chest mark. Wants to play on. Now comes wide. One-on-one contest. And Huskis does very well. Put it down to ground. Caught is Morrison. In fact, Schofield. Here is Lyle. Goes short. Mitchell White offers himself. And in fact, it's Lovell. So Andy Lovell. Kick from 55. Wants players leading towards him. He does. Mitchell White can't get hold of it. Ruse will just slide it over the boundary line and out.
And the players from Sydney really getting down back and congesting the back line. That's why Chopper Lovell just could not get that ball down there quickly. He was looking for something. If he'd gone longer, it would have been cut out by Sydney.
Well, they've got under a minute, the Eagles, if they want to score their 2nd for the quarter. They will have the breeze. Turnbull wins it, and he belts it down beautifully. Oh, Cousins! He bounced straight off, did young Cousins. Kicks in towards full forward, but the defence standing strong. Peter Sumich picks himself up, knowing that that was a lost opportunity, and this is one of the best players, certainly in this position this season. Andrew Dunkley has had a fantastic year. He's quiet and the best. He tumbles an ugly-looking punt kick towards the half-back flank, and it goes over.
Better kicks.
Geez, but he's had a great season, though. Had a great season. Throw in on centre wing. Stafford, Turnbull, jostling for front spot. Turnbull gets it, pushed down towards Creswell. Creswell tackled, but he gets clear. He flicks it in towards Shannon Grant. Overruns it, goes in again. Does Grant. Loses it again. They pounce upon it. Past Wirrapunda it goes. And another baller. So there'll be no addition to the score at quarter time as O'Brien picks himself up. Brushes off the mud. Stafford has a couple of attempts. It's quarter time. Well, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens in the second with this breeze and to gauge just how strong it is. But the West Coast Eagles know what lies ahead of them now. Managing 1 goal in the first quarter, a very handy one to Peter Sumich late in the term. Sydney, on the other hand, booting 5, and 5 individuals getting their goals, of course, coming into this game, if you've just joined our telecast, with no Tony Lockett. There's Michael Malthouse, the veteran coach now from West Coast, as I said, in his 7th year, and he's looking for more success. Already hugely successful. And out comes Rodney Eade. Could this man be coach of the year? We'll have to wait and see. It's quarter time. Sydney a 5-5, 35. West Coast a 1-2, 8. So here we go. Second quarter here at the SCG, and it is the West Coast Eagles now with the advantage of the breeze. Socket off the ground by Morrison to the outer wing for another throw-in.
Sandy, just going through that, at each quarter I marked down the good players. Sydney had a lot of good players. Very hard to find good West Coast players, so that's usually an indication the team is capable of coming back, and maybe with this breeze, West Coast will.
Turnbull, Stafford, Creswell, but a whistle, and it's going against the Big Eagle. It's to be taken by Stafford. It's a cold night if you've just joined us here in Sydney. It is cold and wet, but it's a do-or-die contest, this one. Sydney could find themselves top spot on the ladder. West Coast could find themselves up there. So much to play for. Kiggin started on the bench. Lovell working hard at the bottom of the pack.
I wonder if the coaches told these guys to play in front, especially when they're kicking into the breeze, because again that ball from Stafford dropped. Lewis was by himself and it just fell into his arms.
Won by Garrick. Still on half-back. Morrison could have been held.
No, it's too high.
In fact, taken high, and he'll take the free kick. So from half-back, he'll relieve some of the pressure, and it has been intense. He goes over the head of Turnbull. Stafford got a hand to it. Tries to lock it in. The big man did extremely well, getting into his captain, who kicks towards half-forward. Morrison, another hand to it. Pushed in towards the centre. Could be socket clear. No, it's going to be taken away. And Sydney can come charging forward. Hughes goes down towards the forward line. Kickett is there. McIntosh is with him. Sliding in magnificently was Lyle. They get it out towards Waterman. Waterman's got a chance to steady, and he looks downfield. Down towards centre wing. Pushed towards the line. Taken by Dyson, but well smothered. Back in play it stays. That was from Mainwaring to Dyson, who kicks it high. No one at home, however. And a steadying mark is taken by Braden Lyle.
So one of the Eagles youngsters to one of the more veteran, more experienced players in Chris Waterman. Kicks. Gee, 3-on-1 here. Mitchell White, no hope, you'd think. And it falls over the back. Kelly just brushes tackles, gives it to Roos, kicks the ball forward. Here's Cousins and marks centre wing. Now goes in towards centre half forward with a high kick. Sumich comes at it, tries to build it on. Dunkley gets a second hand on it, taps it out, falls to Dyson, just kicks the ball forward, sitting and waiting underneath it, and pretty well marked in the end is young Morrison. Chad Morrison just forward of the centre square as Maxfield comes off on the other side of the ground. Waterman in space, now can go long, belts it towards goal. Roos is there and almost marked one-handed by Mitchell White and over the line.
Simon Arnott, the man who replaced Tony Lockett, has come onto the ground. So the Eagles have the breeze. Has it changed at all? What do you think of it, Russell?
Well, it's a swirly breeze. If you go on the outside of the ground, it's like an anti-clockwise breeze coming closer to the commentary box. It's sort of favouring the Swans into their pockets, Sandy. So it's very, very strange. It's very swirling.
Garlic towards 50. They go into attack down towards Kickett. Oh, he controlled it beautifully. Flicks it back to Garlic. Sliding mark. An open forward line. He has a look downfield towards O'Loughlin. Sandwiched. At the back is Evans. Under great pressure. Gives it off to Garrick. He's under even more pressure from Lewis. Goes over the top. And suddenly they're out of trouble. Back towards Wirrapunda and Seymour. Neither can mark. Sydney standing firm. Creswell tries to get the hand pass out, taken by McKenna. Flicks it off towards Lovell. He runs into Kickett. Socket off the ground by Evans. Back to Garlic, however. Lovell is also there. McKenna comes in strongly. Oh, there are no big pay. He's been pinged. Fair enough, do you think, Don?
Well, I'm just thinking the West Coast are in trouble. Gee, Sydney's are playing well into this breeze.
In towards full forward. Lewis and Heady. Oh, Lewis tried to concede it behind. Couldn't quite get there in time. Picked up now by Evans. He gets the hand pass away. And Turnbull will steady. Back towards centre wing.
Wirrapunda and McPherson. Does well, McPherson. Brings it to the front. Under pressure. Here comes Waterman. Bursts his way through. Wants some help. Now Foe goes onto his favoured left foot. Players come at it. Kelly stands in front and takes off. Fantastic play from Kelly. Kelly goes short. Lewis. Great contest from Gehrig from the side. Players come at it. It is willing. Vital 3 or 4 minutes here. Back into the middle. Grant paid the mark.
The inexperience on Wirrapunda then to let Kelly get that mark.
Lead comes over player's head and Lovell drops back and takes an easy chest mark. So centre half back. Now looks wide. Really not a lot on offer. Mitchell White. Great kick in the end. Fantastic stretch from White. So just inside offensive square. Now goes short. The leading player. Well, faces Sumich. Plenty of Swans there to help out. Kelly kept his head over it like a really good player. Dyson back into the middle of the ground. Here comes Heady. Falls over. Now wants some help from behind. Has got it there with Turnbull. He goes to ground. Great contest from all players. Lovell screws the ball back around over the players' heads. Sumich comes at it hard. Met by Huskus. Now goes onto his left foot and has kicked the goal. A brilliant kick from Sumich. His second.
I'm impressed with Sumich. He's really starting to get his act together. He's playing like he did when he first started. He's running straight and hard. His reflexes are much sharper. And here it is once again. Sumich really hitting it there hard and then goes onto the left foot. Very, very quick indeed.
Peter Sumich is the only multiple scorer on the ground. He's booted their 2 goals. Lovell tries to send the Eagles forward again, down towards the half-forward line. Good sliding mark taken by Mitchell White. So they're starting to put the foot down. He's got an open goal and he heads for home. He bounces it through. 2 in a minute.
Good heavens, that's gone 80 metres.
Well, that's a breeze. There was nobody in the square at all. And that's the strength of the breeze. And you told me that he's probably the second best. I am going to argue that one. Are you on the All-Australian Selection Committee?
I said he's in the top 2.
I'm nominating him.
What a kick.
That is a good kick. You can see in a static number 12. Mitchell White.
Suddenly the margin is back to 14 points. Stafford does battle with Turnbull. The former wins it, but who can take it out of the middle? Garlic try was unsuccessful. Picked up by Banfield. Flicked towards half forward. Wirapunda drops it. Recovers. He's got Waterman going past. The Eagles are lifting. Waterman kicks them inside 50. Down towards half forward. Roos battling hard, looking for front spot against Mitchell White. It comes to Luff. Under pressure. He wobbles a punt to centre wing.
Oh, courage.
Shown by Lyle. Kept in play by Waterman. Waterman centering, kicking towards half forward. No one able to take the mark. It's locked up there. And a bounce or a ball up will take place just inside 50.
Chris Lewis on it, Main wearing off. But Simon Arnott was the one for mine that showed courage, running with Lyle coming in the opposite direction.
Yes, he was the player who came on just a short time ago. Kelly gives chase on Lewis. And the free kick for holding is going to go against Chris Lewis. It'll be taken by Kelly in the back pocket.
The skipper from the Swans, Paul Kelly, comes wing side. Garrick tries to get a fist on it. So does Turnbull and belts it out of bounds. So boundary throw in between wing and half forward. And the New South Wales Premiers to Bob Carr. Watching, taking a keen interest in the footy.
Suddenly been converted.
That's good. And why not? It's exciting times.
Too high.
High tackle. And yes, Hayden Kennedy did see it.
He's got to get in front, the youngster.
So McPherson, one of the real improvers at the Swans, comes wing side. Pretty good kick. Great stretch from Lewis. Super stretch. Heading on the mark. Now goes in towards kick it. Oh, works Metropolis underneath the ball. O'Brien comes at it. Off the ground by kick it and out on the full.
So Daniel Metropolis will bring it back into play midway during the second term. The Eagles have started to make inroads with this breeze.
I just wonder how good a player Derek Cricket, or how long he can stay if he gets himself fit, Malcolm, in the game.
I think there's some that argue that he's been a pretty good player anyhow, Don.
Oh, I'm not disputing that, but I think he could be a little fitter.
Can do the magical things, can't he? Fantastic to watch. Stafford with the one hand. Cousins caught. Still caught. Off Waterman and over the boundary line.
John, I think the other thing you've got to remember is that we're all different shapes and sizes. And necessarily not all built like string beans.
But we can have a little bit of muscle definition.
Throw it in. Just about on centre wing. Turnbull tried to flick it forward, but it went out the back. McIntosh used the body nicely. Lost it. O'Brien could get a free kick here. He will take it. He's going to be kicking just outside 50. Kick it's down in that forward line. So too is O'Loughlin. It drops into the hole. It drops short. O'Loughlin shoved as he tried to get the kick. And it goes over the line. Eventually in the right forward pocket.
This is a good game of football.
Yep.
It's a good game of footy.
Well, so much at stake. And of course it may go down to the wire this round tomorrow when North Melbourne plays Richmond. In the meantime, we've got a throw in. And we've got the Eagles defending. Heady goes towards Schofield, back towards Turnbull in front of Stafford. The big man tries to push it forward. Grant intercepts, wobbles it in towards the centre. Slung, but play on, says the umpire, as Grant comes in over the top. Here's an opportunity for Turnbull. The big man tumbles a high putt towards Mitchell White and Paul Roos. Roos chanced his arm. His captain's right there with him, Paul Kelly, and here he goes.
Back into the middle. Players can't get hold of it. Oh, great trap. Fantastic stuff there from Cousins. Often another one of the youngsters, Morrison's either are putting himself well. He goes long. He's kicked it from 55, 60 metres. Wonderful kick from Chad Morrison. here we go. Young Cousins, wasn't he just great in the middle of the ground? And here's his kick, Morrison. From inside the square, Mitchell White's kicked one from there. And now Chad Morrison and skidded it through. So the Eagles get their third goal for this quarter. And the Swans lead by 8 points.
Oh, what a contest this is. 8 points the margin. Back in the middle. Can Sydney answer? The Eagles have done it into the breeze. Here goes O'Loughlin. 52 metres out. Short to kick it. Couldn't take the mark, but they play on anyway. It wobbles in towards full forward. And it stops. And Brett Heady gets there. Picks it up. Now playing in defence. Learning the art, as he said during the week. It's a whole new ball game for this man, Brett Heady. Leg, but he got the hand pass away. Back to Heady again from Schofield and then over the line. So a throw in. With just on 11 minutes remaining, Lovell used the body. O'Loughlin is at the back. He's an exciting young player. Speaking of excitement, Captain Kelly off to Darren Creswell. Creswell flicks it round the body. This could be good enough. Was it touched? Yes, it was. One behind.
The margin to 9 points. So Sydney really searching for a goal here as the Eagles come at him. McIntosh straight down the middle, over the back. Oh, they really are. Evans was good, so was Banfield. Here's Waterman in some space. They really are kicking the ball long. Great kick to White. Oh, fantastic help out from Dunkley. Andrew Dunkley came late and aggressive and thumped it over the line. So boundary throw in. Really, that took 2 kicks virtually. One came sideways to make it a third. But 2 kicks and they're down in their forward line. Punch back towards the boundary line. Players just dwell on each other and both content to let it over the line.
And Sanders, of course, 7 Nightly News here in Sydney during the week. Enjoying the game. And she's certainly seeing a thriller too. Picked up by Cousins. He wobbles a punt kick in towards Sumich at full forward. Just about clean bowl. Dyson may concede it behind. Here he does. Five, 6 plays, 4-4. 8 points the margin.
If he goes long, this ball's going to hold up.
And let's see what does happen with it this time as he kicks through the mud. Still gets pretty good distance and an excellent mark taken by this young man. Coming into the lineup late, plays on quickly into the pocket. Lovell is there and he takes the mark. Well, he's inside 50, but he's on a tight angle and doesn't like it. He wants to straighten things up and he does to Mitchell White.
I would say he's well within kicking distance.
Well, we
now,
saw
Luff let one go from well, maybe a little further out in the first quarter from this position.
Well, White's first goal probably went 65, 70 metres. It was a sensational kick. Let's see what happens this time. With Sumich lead ignored. 55 metres, Don. It's off the side of the boot. He's gone for the big one.
Just watching that flag, Sandy, it has dropped. The wind is not as strong as what it used to be. The flag on the outer grandstand. On the Bill O'Reilly grandstand, and it has dropped, or indicating that the wind has dropped.
Yes, by about 1 kilometre an hour. It's now 150. That is huge. Gee, I'd like to have a few kicks out there with it. Here comes the kick. See, it hasn't made the 50-metre line. And there's Wirrapunda again. So right back into the teeth of it there. And so with the kick.
And Sumich saying, go for home, go for goal.
Well, that's right. Here's a fair indication. I mean, he's got the square advantage. And he's only kicked that about 42, 43 metres. And I think you might find this go back over everyone's head. Bye-bye ball. But just a point. So certainly the kick was long enough. Just not quite the accuracy there from the youngster.
But only one straight kick in it now. After Sydney led 5-5 to 1-2 at quarter time. So this game, if this breeze stays as it is, could go right down to the dying seconds of the last quarter. Banfield tumbles it in towards full forward. Oh, the mark taken by Lewis. Chris Lewis.
Experience. Look at the way he's come around there. I would have been half inclined to play on.
Well, he's pushed him right on the other side, on the outer side of the boundary line.
He's not confident.
No,
he's not
he
confident.
doesn't want the old check side, I don't think. He's looking for any options that are a better angle, a better alternative.
That's the beauty of television. You can actually see the eyes of the player and usually an indication of what he is going to do. And there it is.
So this young man has a better opportunity. Cousins, the distance shouldn't be a problem. 45 out, but on a 45-degree angle. They've been peppering away for behinds in the last 3 or 4 shots. This drop punt is high, and it's going to be pretty close. It's another one, is it not? Yep. 5 points, the margin. 4-7. So peppering away opportunities here with under 8 minutes remaining in the first half.
Kick comes back in. Once again, just going to meet the 50-metre line in front. Criswell almost got hold of it. Players work it down. There's Criswell, takes a duck.
Gehrig would have been better on that occasion to really thump the ball forward. He got up high enough. He was endeavouring to mark. In that situation, it would have been better to go forward with a punch.
So players have to wait. Intelligent tap there by Turnbull. Players caught with it, and eventually the ball spills out towards the boundary line. Burraponda and McPherson take it over. So that lead, which was always going to be that if they played to their ability, I think the Eagles, was probably 4 or 5 goals. And as we mentioned, that 1 goal just might have been enough for the Eagles to get them in front at perhaps at half time. Snookered. Absolutely nowhere. Oh, and he's playing home. Oh, excuse me. You had 2 players on top of him. You must make some attempt, but if you can't actually move, there's not much value in doing that. Terrific kick and great mark from Lewis. Really went at it hard. Wants players to come across wing. Flyers want it here. Punch from behind. Mooney knocks it over the back. Terrific gather there by Arnott. One-on-one situation. Metropolis and Kickett. Metropolis does well. And Metropolis been moved on to him after McIntosh had him in that first quarter.
It's just interesting. Kickett trying to turn Metropolis inside out, holding his position, and then was just waiting for the break.
5 points the margin. Sydney leading. Rain has cleared somewhat. Mooney goes out the back, but straight to Lovely. Wobbles it towards Banfield. Plays it in front of him. Needs someone going past. Had him. That was in line, but it's stolen by Arnott. Arnott wobbles a puck. Which way will it bounce? Behind. So scoring has not been easy for Sydney in this quarter. They've added just the 2 behinds, as Malcolm said. The Eagles getting that goal into the breeze. Such a bonus at this stage. Metropolis to bring it back in.
That's the way. Straight down the centre. Good kick.
And that is a good kick. And Turnbull gives it another 25 metres. White gets the hand pass. They've got the players running. Banfield's away. He's 75 out and he puts them well inside 50. It bounces towards goal. Dyson is there and he just runs it over, conceding a behind.
Turnbull's doing the little thing, the tap out here and there, and that was excellent play. The tap on.
4-8 plays 5-7. Each has had 12 effective scoring shots at goal. But it is Sydney with their noses in front. Oh, there's an excellent diving mark taken by Duckley. He bounces up quickly as the rain starts again and kicks towards half forward. But halted by Guy McKenna. Call to play on. He heads to the outer side. Mitchell White cannot get there in time. And so a throw-in to take place on the outer wing here at the SCG. An excellent crowd considering the very wintry conditions. And they are enjoying, Malcolm, an excellent contest.
Oh, indeed, Sandy, and it's probably one of the first times this quarter that the Eagles have actually gone that wide. Mitchell White was out there. McKenna's kick was just so difficult with the Swans player coming at him that just forced it a bit wide. So boundary throw-in, no centre wing. Stafford just lays it off for Kelly. Caught. Banfield out running with him. And once again over the line. The skipper. Fantastic player. Really developed in the last 3 years. Turnbull tries to work it from behind. Stafford just throws it quickly onto the boot. Coming out, it's Morrison. Sockers off the ground. And once again, clapped there by his teammate Mitchell White. And the kid did well by playing in front. It is now difficult. That rain has come back as we watch those people sitting under an umbrella. Well, they're a faithful lot here in Sydney, Don, aren't they? They're really starting to perhaps
get the feel of it.
I was going to say warm to this game, but that would be absolutely silly saying that on a night like tonight. Great play from McKenna. Goes in towards full forward. Off the ground. Caught his Cousins. He somehow or other tries to work his way out of it. The ball falls back to him. Great contest there from all players, and another ball up.
He's a good little player, isn't he? Good little player. I wonder how he works further up the ground.
Adam Husker's picked himself up. His Cousins. The Eagles have it in their attacking zone. Kelly tries to get the hand pass out. It's going to be okay. Picked up by McPherson. Goes across the ground and out of bounds. So the race for the finals is going right down to the wire. With, of course, Hawthorn playing Melbourne tonight, North Melbourne playing Richmond tomorrow. And really it won't be all sorted out until tomorrow evening. Couldn't have asked for a better finish.
So Turnbull putting himself in once again. That bounce down, bringing it in close. There he is. He's smaller than Stafford, but he's putting his body in front of Stafford, and it's good play. There he is once again, in front.
Waterman gets a hurried kick down towards the half-forward line. Seymour was there, had it for a moment, then lost it to his teammate. It's going to be okay. McPherson brings it away, back towards centre wing. Some jostling going on, and Headies at the back. It's socked out of his hands by O'Brien. Down towards Kickett. Ricochets back to Lewis. Dale Lewis eludes one. Tumbles a punt towards the half-forward line. Lyle traps it, loses it. May get a free kick. In fact, will. He's on half-back. And so Lyle defends. Up towards half forward. At the back was Wirapunda. He's got a chance now to pick it up, and he does. Sweeps the hand pass in towards Mitchell White. Good interception, and he loses it. Waterman gives it off to Gehrig. He's caught. Gets the hand pass away. Garlick. It's tough in there, and it's hard. And it's difficult to handle, but they're doing it grandly towards centre wing. Tony Evans takes a timely mark and plays on.
Goes long. Players drop back to it. A terrific mark there from Creswell. Now plays off across the ground. Roos by himself. There's a player leading towards him and uses skill well to Shannon Grant. Another player running, so the Swans are running. Chance here as players work. Huskus chased by Sumich. Puts his left foot to the ball, swings it round. And once again, Schofield reads it pretty well. Connells. There's a bit to do with the benefit. I was just thinking, I mean, the poor trainer has ended up off the seat, so hopefully he's okay. The reward for this game is absolutely unbelievable. If you can finish on top, it would mean that you've probably played two finals, Don, either here in Sydney, if you can win the first round, as the Eagles did, of course, in '94. Socked it off the ground. Metropolis reads it well in front of O'Loughlin and goes to the boundary line. No free kick. Yes, you'd almost say that you'd start favourite to play in the grand final by winning this game tonight. I know it's a big call, but that's really what it's worth.
Yes, it's a magnificent bonus. Under 3 minutes remaining in this first half. And you couldn't pick who's going to win this at the moment. It is anyone's contest. That's gone out of bounds on the full load. Morrison from the back pocket. West Coast would dearly love another goal with the breeze. Banfield takes the mark on half-back. He'll swing onto that left foot and go long towards half-forward. Wirapunda doesn't fly. He waits down. The ball is locked up. Questions are asked of umpire John Harvey, the 32-year-old bank clerk, and he'll have none of it.
He's doing well there now. Daniel McPherson, he's playing on David Wirapunda.
Still at half forward. Garlick edged out of it. Socket out of Seymour's hands. Banfield a chance. If he can get it to White. He's ripped to the ground. He can almost be pinged. Play on, says the umpire. They do. And there will eventually be a ball up. But look at the desperation of players from both sides. It's a credit to them in these conditions. Sydney making a change.
Mark Bates coming on. It's great to see Bates, and he's going down forward. Lewis coming off. Dale Lewis, that is.
Ball tap back. Kelly smothered. Ball comes out of that pack, and in front is Arnold. Yes, that rain has just stopped that Eagles push, wasn't it? They got those 3 goals, and Wilson, the ball's just become a bit harder to handle. Oh, that'll stop and nearly go back to Arnott. Kick drops very short. Players run onto it. Banfield caught high. No free kick.
Yeah.
Yes, there is now.
He's a pretty hard customer, Banfield.
They really did it by peppering centre half forward. They're just starting to go a little bit wide at the moment. And in these slippery conditions, difficult. Once again, it's a big kick. Dunkley belts it away towards the boundary line. Lewis wants to go off the ground. Gets it back in halfway. Seymour has to slide to give it up. Kelly back. Will run out of room. Slippery handball. Here's Luff. Slippery ball now. Breaks away. Touches it down once. Runs over defensive 50. Has his second touch. Now goes back in towards the square. And a very good mark taken by Mooney.
Yes, excellent mark.
Inside the last minute. Mooney plays on. Looks towards Kickett. Unable to take it cleanly. Arnott waiting down. Caught from behind and slung. Loses it to Heady. Brett Heady's tumbling punt. Bounces once on the chest of Stafford. But it's okay. He juggles it. Plays on from the middle. Heads towards centre half forward. McKenna's at the back. The usually reliable defender tidies up nicely. Sliding it over the boundary line on centre wing. So that'll just about be it for the first half. And really nothing in it whatsoever. Turnbull towards Evans. At the back he goes to Banfield. Is there time? They need a mark. Down towards half forward. Two Eagles fly. Neither can take it. Ruse on the last line of defence. Goes towards the line. Dunkley is there. And it spills out of his hands on the siren. And through for one behind. So that behind will stand as Andrew Dunkley picks himself up. And will be keen to get into the rooms and tidy himself up out of the mud. What a contest this first half has been here at Sydney. Sydney scoring just 2 behinds in the second quarter, and the West Coast having their opportunities, but in fact booting 3-7. Their main contributor has been Peter Sumich. He's got 2. There's Chris Lewis having a few words. This cold, wintry night hasn't deterred the players nor the crowd here at the SCG. A wonderful atmosphere. So at half-time, we see Sydney 5-7-37, leading West Coast 4-9-33.
So much at stake in a terrific game of football. Shortly, highlights of the Melbourne and Hawthorn game at the MCG.